Well, we're back for what is the penultimate week of Te Akau TV, and we're joined today by Te Akau racing manager Reese Trumper. Reese, busy week?
Hey, Hazy. Yeah, it's been a bit of a busy week, but on the racing terms, there hasn't been a hell of a lot of racing, only 3 days this week, Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday, so gives the staff a bit of a break anyway.
And of course, we're on Wednesday afternoon at the moment. Reese is nicely dressed and presented there for the races at Manawatu. So we won't be talking about any of those winners if there are to be any there today as well. But we'll just quickly touch on the week that's been. So I think obviously a big week for the team there with 8 winners, Accidental Tourist and Aromatic there in the group race at Awapuni on Friday. Do you want to touch on those quickly?
The Accidental Tourist was amazing, wasn't he? He missed the kick by 5 or 6, and Michael just let him catch up at his own pace, and he was really dominant over the 1400. So step up to a mile is not going to hurt him, and he looks like a very progressive horse. We obviously do need to sort out those barrier manners. As that won't happen every time, but he's going the right way. And then Aromatic was given a gorgeous ride by Opie, obviously. She drew out and he got her straight into the 1-1, and she was by far the best horse in the field, and yeah, she proved it.
And across to Te Rapa there on Saturday, good to see Viva Vienna carry on her early season 2-year-old form and get a win there on Saturday.
Yeah, she's a lovely filly that Dave paid a bit for. She was obviously going to be one of the top seeds for the Cracker Million, just went Shinsaw. We gave her time, and she'll repay us now. There's a stakes race on the 6th of May at Te Rapa. We won that race last year of Lord Cosmos, and she fits the same build.
And Pukekohe there for Christopher and Susanna Grace there was explosive when found its way through the gap there on Saturday.
Yeah, Vinny gave her a nice run. I thought at the top of the straight she was a bit flat, but once she hit that gap, she really powered home. And now she's going well in the Cambridge Breeders. Looks like a nice race for her to pick up some black type.
And Aotea Lad, it was obviously great to see Jessica Allen get her first win on what is one of the stable old favourites, I guess.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really come up well this preparation. We sent him down the South Island, and he rubbed his hips raw, so he couldn't race, unfortunately. So we're giving him plenty of time to get over that, and he's resumed with a couple of wins out of 3 this preparation. And it was great for Jess because she's a hard worker. She turns up with a smile on her face every day, and she has a lovely sit on a horse, and she was really impressing us at the trials. And every ride she had at Te Rapa on Hero Worship and Otaki, she rode them absolutely perfect, and they all ran well for her, which was really exciting for her.
Well, she's definitely one to be keeping an eye on in the coming months. Are you going to be looking after her rides? So she's doing the apprenticeship at Te Akau, is she, Reese?
Yeah, look, people message me, and we keep in contact with me and Jess about what rides she's been on offered, and I'm sure she'll be fitting into the ranks real quick.
Great. And she's a young lady with a lot of talent by the look of her riding there on Saturday. And of course, over to the Hawke's Bay there, we had What You Wish For backed up his impressive debut performance where he ran home from a mile back to run second and won on this occasion.
Yeah, it was a lovely ride by Craig too. He took all the bad luck out of the equation. Still doing a bit wrong, just ears were pricked a bit, but look, he would put him aside, and the 2,000 guineas looks an ideal race for him. His sectionals at Manawatu when running second were outstanding. Once he gets to be a 3-year-old after this spell, he's really going to be a proper horse. He's still doing a lot wrong, but he's gone the right way.
And Fierce Flight there was a rating 60 horse earlier in the season and has gone on to win the listed Power Farming Hawke's Bay Cup there on Saturday as well. Came from a mile back, didn't really look a chance at the 200 and then motored home that last little bit.
Yeah, he does that to us a bit. I remember he did it to us at Manawatu, that Christmas meeting. It's probably 25 lengths off the leader at the 600, and just that last 100 he really puts in. So he's still not even the full product. You could see at the 150, tried to cost himself. He ducked in, but Michael was quick enough to switch the stick through to the left hand and really pushed him out. And he was explosive late. And it was just great because he was only $45,000 purchase from Dave. But we always knew that he had ability. He just needs to put it together.
And he probably finds himself in the Most Improved Horse of the Year awards at Te Akau there alongside Campionessa. It'll be a close battle between those two. We are going to check out the races there at Pukekohe Park on Saturday, Riccarton Park on Saturday, and of course Awapuni. There's a couple of nice races there on Sunday as well. So we're going to kick off there at Pukekohe, and we are going to look first up at race number 4, the Hanui Farm 1200 rating 65 benchmark. 2 runners here, Reese. She's a show-off and Luxuriant.
Yeah, She's a Show-Off was really good first up. She just got back from that wide draw. But she really motored home, and she's done well since then. There's a bit of rain forecast, which would bring her into it even more. We're quite impressed with her on a good track because she's only shown form on heavy ground. Barrier 11, she'll probably get back again, but she's got the 4 kgs off with Jess Allen on, so that brings her down to a really nice weight. And as long as she's improved since that first up run, she looks ideally placed. Luxuriant, she was just slow for the other day. We have had problems with her barrier manners, but she ran home really well. She's probably looking for 1400 now, but we'll keep her work real sharp and OP back up. She should probably get back worse in midfield again from that draw. She'll probably be tardy away, but she's going well this season, and hopefully she can reel them in late.
And race 5 there, the listed Stephanos at Novara Park Champagne Stakes. 2-year-old set weights over the mile. A former best bet of yours, Reese, the Princey one, finds herself there in this field. Draws barrier 8, has the services of Opie Bosson this time.
Yeah, look, she was a certainty beat, wasn't she, at Avondale? She just cost herself in the last 100 running off, but she's improved out of sight since then. The mile looks helpful off her pedigree, and yeah, she looks very good chance.
Well, there you go. Follow the money, and hopefully she can do the business there on Saturday. And then down to race 8 there, the Group 3 Manco Easter Handicap, open handicap, obviously over the mile. 3 runners take their place, and a few of these have been kind of racing against a lot of these horses throughout the season. They are Bella the Bull, the Perfect Pink, who came out of its trial the other day to run 4th, and Fashion Shoot, who draws barrier 7 with Wirram and Pin on board.
Bella the Bull was really good, obviously, after a freshen up. Getting up to the mile is going to help her, and Joe has a lovely record on her. She has drawn a sticky barrier, but they've got a long run to the first corner at the Pukekohe. It'd be nice for her to get in good black type placing because she's been going well all the season. She just hasn't had the rub of the green in the black type races. But as long as she gets a bit of luck from that draw, she'll be a top 3 contender for sure. And the Perfect Pink was really good late, I thought, over the 1400 of the race that Bella the Bull was in. We really couldn't get a line in her, but she needs good ground to really explode off. And Cosi Asano rode her in the Oaks, and she went really well for him in that. So we're really happy to have her, and a Group 1 winner down to 53 kgs looks ideal. She's drawn a little bit sticky. We'll just have to ride in neutral and see how things play out, but hopefully she can land midfield 1 off somewhere. And then Fashion Shoot, she's been flying all season, hasn't she? She's been a real improver for the stable with a few black type placings. Looking like the mile will suit her from a good draw. She should posse up close enough to the speed. She doesn't have the best amount of gate speed, but hopefully she can put herself midfield 1 off somewhere. And the way she's been going this season, you can't write her off.
Great. And across to Riccarton Park there in the mid-south. Race 5, we kick off on the D. Reynolds Electrical 2-year-old. Cook Allen been pretty impressive there, winning his last 2 starts. He draws 1. Not a lot of form in this race. Penfo's lad came second last start. He probably looks the horse to beat again.
Yeah, he's obviously going really well. He's owned by a great group of lads, but he's got to do it again. But he's drawn barrier 1, so hopefully he can jump, lead, and win.
Great. Race 8, the listed New Zealand Bloodstock War Step Stakes. Be wary of the Mark Walker backup, and there's a few here today at Riccarton and Awapuni as well on Sunday. And there's 3 backing up here from last weekend over 2,000 metres. The first of which is Family Ties, followed by Miss Dunsford and Albinet.
Yeah, obviously Family Ties was really good late last Saturday. Courtney was very impressed with what she showed her over the mile. obviously getting to the 2000 is going to help her being an Oaks Prelude winner. She's drawn a nice barrier, so she should be able to get into a lovely position from there. Miss Dunsford, everything just went wrong last start. We wanted to be positive, but all the white horses just whipped around her. But she's going really good, and Sean Mackay's a Group 1 jockey, and he should be able to get her into a nice position from that draw, and hopefully she can get some more black type, because she's already got some Australian black type and she deserves some New Zealand. And Almanette, she just got in a bit of the steel and got pulling a bit over the mile, but Ryan Elliott's obviously a very strong rider, and he's a Group 1 jock. She's drawn sticky barriers, so we have to ride her quiet again, and she should be hard to beat if she can bring her form that she's been doing up north.
Great. And race 9 there, the Group 3 Coca-Cola Canterbury Gold Cup. Of course, this was taken out in emphatic fashion by Predator last season. Perfect scenario, very unlucky last week, finds himself on the backup again against similar field with a couple of new ones in Verna Me and Platinum Invader. But he looks a strong chance if he can get even luck in running, Reece.
Yeah, he was a bit stiff on Saturday, wasn't he? He'll be able to bother from that draw for sure. It's just getting into a nice posse from there. Jason gets on with him well, and the 2,000 metres, we're still not 100% sure, but the way he's been racing all year round, you can't write him off, and he loves the South Island, including being second up.
Great. And over to Awapuni there on Sunday, we kick off in race 1. The Tui backing a winner since 1889, 1,200, 3-year-old set weight and penalties. Kabugi was one of the early season, or was a promising looking 3-year-old in the early part of the season. He finds himself here in the latter part of the autumn. Trialled okay the other day, Reece?
Yeah, he did. We're very we're really looking forward to having the services of Jonathan Parks back in the saddle too. He's obviously been off the scenes, and we've really missed him. He rides really well for the Tangerine, and he's drawn a lovely barrier here on Kabugi, and hopefully he can put him up in amongst it. And if he can bring what form he brought fresh up as an early 3-year-old, he should be winning this. Yep.
Absolutely, and let's get Parksy back on Bolly sometime soon. Dignatosa draws barrier 4th with Michael McNabb on board.
Yeah, obviously everything just went wrong last start at Pukekohe. She might just not go right-handed. Back left-handed in a similar field that she won against at Wanganui looks good. She's drawn a nice barrier, so she'll land and put herself right on speed, and Michael gets on with her really well, and she looks like a very nice chance.
And race 3, the Rush Excavation 2100, rating 60 handicap. 2 line up here, Devoted and Aquilo.
Yeah, both Devoted and Aquilo, just their fitness runs. Look, got a hurdle race on Wednesday at Harris, so they'll just stay down there and plotter around until Wednesday, but they're just there for a fitness run. But Devoted would be leading out of the two of them. He's actually going to ride every run this preparation, and it wouldn't surprise us if he was to run a top 4.
Great. And race 4, the Pave Masters Trophy, rating 75 benchmark. The extravagant mare Polly Plum draws a barrier 7 with Craig Grills on board.
Yeah, it was a late nomination putting her in here. She wasn't an Otaki, but it was just too wet. She's ended up drawing a nice barrier, and Craig Grills is a good leading senior rider. We'll get the most out of her. She has a great fresh record, and she might be up in grade, but it's not that scary a field, if I had to be honest. So we wouldn't be surprised if she was to run a top 4.
Great. And race 7, the listed Manawatu ITM Anzac Mile Open Handicap over the mile. Millie Fiora, I saw she slipped on the turn there at Te Rapa last start when starting to build momentum, and I thought she would have run into the money there. She finds herself on the backup. Obviously, that run didn't take a lot out of her race.
No, she's come through it really well. We've been really happy with her work this week. It's a nice chance for her to pick up a bit of black type, getting up to a distance that I think she will suit her. Joe gets on with her really well. He rides her in all her track work, and she's drawn a nice barrier, so she'll get a soft run from that trip, hopefully box seat, and hopefully she can pick up some black type there, and then Synchronise. She's been going well all season, hasn't she? Picking up that black type win on Boxing Day, the Hallmark Handicap. Getting to a mile off the way she races should suit her, and we'll have to ride her quiet from that draw like we have all season, and she'll be given one last run at them, but Woodham Pin's the leading rider for sure.
And of course, Synchronized found herself unfortunately on the ballot again in the Easter handicap there, so she gets her chance there as well, and she has to be a great chance, as you mentioned, Reece. So that wraps up the runners for the weekend. Where are you going for your best bet?
Look, I think Pukekohe's going to be very difficult to beat. I think he's a very, very talented type of horse, and I'd love it for the owners.
There you go. So your Reece is tipping you the $1.20 on Pukekohe there at Riccarton Park, looking for a bit of value, which is all good. But I guess next week we'll be wrapping up Te Akau TV for the season. We're going to be looking at, obviously, are there any runners at Avondale there on Anzac Day, Reece?
Yeah, we'll have a handful there. Inca Balbalamio, Egyptian Queen, Prismatic, Ragamuffin, and Navalha will be at Avondale.
Cool. And then there's a fair handful of races next week at Hawera on Wednesday, Timaru Thursday, Arrowwood Park on Friday, and Rotorua, and then we move into the Cambridge Breeders' Stakes Day, and a lot of form obviously comes out of that race there at Te Rapa next week. And I think you've mentioned a couple there earlier on in the card that were winners last week, like Pukekohe, that will find themselves in that race next week. So that'll wrap up Te Akau TV for the season, and we'll probably catch you again next week, Reece, to run through those runners again. But thanks for your time today, and good luck at the races today.
Thanks, Hazy.